Hi everyone, it's Zoe DeLuca here from markandzoe.com, and today I have a quick lesson for you in hashtags on Twitter. What are they? How do you set them? And importantly, how can you maximize the use of hashtags to grow your business, and particularly if you're hosting events? And with the upcoming social media superhero seminars that I'm part of, I've decided to set up a hashtag to use in our events and in the live seminars. For those of you that are very new to Twitter or haven't yet heard the term hashtag, a hashtag is simply where you see the hash symbol and a word following it. You'll see them a lot in the tweets going through in my live feed here, and also when you log into your own Twitter account, you'll see trends, including the top trends often have the hashtag in front of them. They're perhaps one of the most complex features of Twitter for new users to understand, but basically it's just a topic with the hashtag in front of it to identify it to that group of people for that event or a common theme or topic. You will see quite often of a Friday, coincidentally, the hashtag follow Friday. And that is simply where people have decided that on a Friday they will follow people that they find worthy, and they'll put the follow Friday out to let everybody else know that these are great people to follow. And generally, if you receive a message with hashtag follow Friday, you would respond in kind and follow that person back. But you may well also see we've got here hashtag thirsty chicks. Hashtag is better than. So there may be a conversation going on that something is better than something else. You will very often see hashtags. Here's for a discount, hashtags for quotes, hashtags for codes, etc., etc. So when I came in here to look at Social Media Superhero and set it up, I said, okay, what hashtag or identifier could I use to group together everybody that's speaking about the Social Media Superhero seminars, and also for the people when they're attending the Social Media Superheroes event to stay in contact with each other and to have live tweets going. It is a social media seminar after all. It's a workshop where I expect people to be interacting, and if we're not monitoring and utilizing and maximizing social media tools, then clearly we'd be doing something quite wrong. So how do you set up a hashtag? And the first thing I did was I thought, what is the most logical hashtag for my event? Now, social media superhero is very long, and you can imagine if I put that in as a hashtag, it would take up a large proportion of everybody's tweet. There's also a great potential for people to get that incorrect. So I went with the acronym instead of SMSH. And the first thing I did was pop on over to Google, good old trusty Google, and do a search for what is hashtag SMSH stand for on Twitter. And interestingly, I really had nothing come back, as a lot of things there as smash, thinking that I had the SM and I'd left the A out, SH perhaps. So that's looking like perhaps nobody else is using it. I then went and used a couple of tools. The next thing I did do was go over to Twitter itself and look at search.twitter.com. And what I found was there was some usage of the term, but nobody had really defined it. And what I mean by that, there's a couple of tools. The first one I looked at was hashtags.org. This one here, hashtags.org, and I did a search for SMSH. And you'll see there are some trends in Twitter here. There are some tweets going on with SMSH on them. Interestingly, in a different language. I've now found out that's Indonesian. And by doing a little further investigation, you can see it's really low number of tweets, so 5, 4, 6, 7, not a lot. And interestingly, by only one or two people. When I went and looked a little further into this, into a site that I absolutely love, and it's called twubs.com. That's not a list, twubs, TWBS.com, and did a search on the SMSH again. I found that this seemed to be Indonesian. They're talking about Jakarta, but it looks like an info service that tweets once or twice a day automatically. Ordinarily, I'd be saying try and get a hashtag that's unique for your event, but because this one hasn't been defined and there's so little use on it, it's not likely use that's going to interfere with our target market, and it doesn't look to me to be derogatory or negative. And given the amount of traffic that we're going to generate on this hashtag in the next 2 months, then a couple of tweets from a Jakartan info service automatically generated is just going to get lost in amongst the tweets that we're tweeting about. So we're going to be much more important. It's still going to be highly relevant. So you'll notice on this TWUB service here that it's hashtags made useful. And the great value of this is you can actually set up your hashtag. You can define your hashtag, and I can actually go in here and be the first to describe this hashtag. I can share that out, and I can also have them looking for other social media properties that are tweeting the hashtag. You'll see here what's happening on TwitPics, YouTube, Vimeo, which is another video sharing site, be uploading videos, short links, etc. It's really powerful, and Twubs is actually where I come in and do a lot of my monitoring during the live events and once I've already set up the hashtag. The place where I initially, however, set up all of my hashtags is a site called Tagaless. Now it's TAGAL.US. So TAGAL, but there's a dot in here, .US. Again, I have done a search here and found that it hadn't yet been defined. So I'm going to go over here and define it. And interestingly, I've defined it first and foremost with our Facebook.com page. And the reason for that is that's the main site where we're driving our traffic and have all of the event listings. So there's a website there. And then I've simply defined it as Social Media Superhero Seminar Series in Australia and New Zealand by Yvette Adams, Wendy Moore and Zoe DeLuca to teach you not just how to grow your social media marketing, to grow your business, but how to become a social media superhero. Sorry, not just how to use social media marketing to grow your business, but how to become a social media superhero. And for any of the marketers on the call, you could hear there were some very intentional things in that description. I've mentioned our name 3 different times. I've got a live link in there. I've got the individual trainers' names. I've mentioned it's in Australia and New Zealand, social media marketing, social media training, and effectively using it to grow your business. But it still is a description that reads well, would make sense to people coming towards it, and spark some curiosity, as well as helping us with the search engine results for that term as well. So I'm now just going to click Create and define my hashtag. It will ask me to log in before I can add the tag, and the tag will be added automatically once you log in. And it's, just so you know, it's with the AAuth authentication, which is what Twitter uses to authenticate your accounts. And because this will be tagged and linked to it, they use exactly the same authentication. As I was already signed into my account, I just need to click Allow. And the great thing with this is it actually takes authorization from my Twitter account, so I'm not storing my Twitter login and password in Tagaless or at any of the other sites. I'm simply giving them permission to link up to my Twitter account that I've already authorized. And there we go, your tag has been added to Tagaless. So now we have in Tagaless a hashtag SMSH. It has first and foremost the link to our website, Social Media Superhero, the description I put, and also has here that it was added by me. And also you can get to vote that as being accurate. So as people come in, you know, they can say, yes, I'm voting on that as well. And that may well help you to reclaim a tag if you find somebody else is using it, but particularly if it's your company name or something like that and you'd really like to have it, then get in here and define it and make sure that you have people voting it as accurate as well. Now what I'm going to do is come back over to Twubs and define that hashtag here as well. You will find that the definition from Tagaless will move across to your search.twitter.com, and some of these do start to integrate, but I like to define it here as well. First you need to join this Twub, and you can tell everybody that you became a member of it and then go ahead and define it. Now the description here is a little bit different in that you're allowed a heading and then you're only allowed 140 characters just as you are on Twitter in your description, so I have to cut this one back a little bit. Importantly to me, I still have the website link in there, and I have social media marketing seminars in Australia and New Zealand. I've cut that right back, and I can also upload a new headshot, which is really nice. I'm going to do a promotional one for the seminars rather than either of the 3 speakers. This one I'm going to pick, and that will go ahead and upload it, and then I can save the basic information. And when I refresh that, you can see now it is defined with our picture, with our logo. SMSH is Social Media Superhero Seminar Series, with our website there. Even though it's not clickable on this version of it, it does give it to people so they can copy and paste. Social media marketing for business training seminars in Australia and New Zealand. The one other site that a lot of people use for defining hashtags is one called TagDef, and you can certainly be entering that as well. So completeness, I'm going to go and update and explain that tag there as well. Post the information in, it does ask me to enter a capture code to prove that I'm human. And again, it says, thanks, click here to tweet your definition. Now, I'm not going to have done that because I've just done it over on Tagaless as well, and I don't want to hit my audience with too many of them all at once. In reality, once you know this site, it's very quick to do. So now over to my Twitter page, and I'm going to tweet something that one of our presenters, the lovely Wendy Moore, has put on her blog today, Why Facebook is the Glee of Social Networking World. It's a great article if you haven't read it, and it raises some interesting facts for our training. But now I'm going to append to the end hashtag SMSH and get this started with the use of it. I will be spreading that through all the participants at our social media marketing trainings. I will also be asking all of our joint venture partners in their promotions to be using the hashtag as well. And it starts building the community and information, and people get to know each other. There will be conversations going on around the hashtag before we even start the first event. And very definitely there'll be lots of conversations going on after the individual training so people can meet up communities, know you're getting the same sort of training. Maybe you met an individual training, you want to know who else is going to the training, etc., etc. And that way you can meet highly relevant people that maybe later you want to work with or simply socially interact with as a result of having the common interest of using social media marketing to grow your business. So keep an eye out for that one, hashtag SMSH. By all means, drop in the use that you see in the video, whether or not you found it interesting. As always, I love your feedback and feel most welcome to share if you found this useful. You'll find me on Twitter at @ZDeluca or over on markandzoe.com, and always on Facebook, facebook.com/Mark and Zoe. Have an awesome day.